Welcome to Taste Reviews Drink Edition, Episode 9. I'm your host, Derek Silver, and we got a new one today. Catoctin RoundStone Rye Whiskey. Now you know how we do. We have a description, we get to the best part, the tasting, and then we have a tasting review. So now on to the description. Catoctin Creek RoundStone Rye Whiskey. Now, this one is actually the 92 proof edition. They have an 80 proof. I was going to grab the 80 proof, but when I saw this label on the 92 proof, which is 94 points wine enthusiast 2020, I said to myself, I got to see what this is about. Granted, the 80 proof is an award-winning whiskey as well, but 94 points is very good for a rating of whiskey. So I was like, let me just go ahead and grab this. Now, the bottle actually doesn't have a description of the whiskey on it, not even a brief description. I would have loved if it had at least a brief description, but that's cool. You know, it still has the most important things on it. It's 92 proof. They have the alcohol volume on it. They tell you that it's actually a distiller's edition rye whiskey. The 92 proof is a distiller's edition rye whiskey. And I'll get to that from the website. So, but the bottle is nice classic bottle, old school type bottle. The label goes well with the color of the whiskey, a nice dark red color. It's a beautiful color to the whiskey. So let's move on to the website. So like I said, they have an 80 proof and a 92 proof, but it's the same whiskey, but just different proofs. So I'm going to read the description from both proofs. I'm going to start with the 80 proof because that lets you know about the tasting notes and the flavor profile of this whiskey. But I'm going to go on to the 92 proof as well because they have just a little difference on how it's aged. So let me start with the 80 proof description. Our most popular whiskey, RoundStone Rye, is a very unique rye whiskey made completely from scratch at our distillery in Purcellville, Virginia. This is kind of a local one to me, probably like an hour and a change. Their distillery from the DC area. It says this pre-prohibition style rye whiskey is made from 100% rye grain, sourced locally when available. It is mashed, fermented, distilled, and aged completely in our distillery before bottling it at a very sippable 80 proof. Aged in new charred white oak casks for a period of around 2 years, the whiskey is smooth, woody, with that full-bodied, fruity, nutty grain flavor typical of a Virginia rye whiskey. RoundStone Rye has a delicious woody taste with notes of caramel, rich buttered toffee, and just a hint of lemon in the nose. So remember that. RoundStone Rye is a superb sipping whiskey, a great whiskey in Manhattans or your favorite rye whiskey cocktails. Delicious mixed on the rocks or neat. So now let me move on to the 92 proof description. And remember I said this is a distiller's edition. So it says Becky's distiller's edition of our very popular RoundStone Rye. Becky is Becky Harris, the chief distiller for Catoctin Creek. So it says only 1 in every 10 barrels gets selected to be in the RoundStone Rye 92 proof whiskey. This whiskey is the culmination of several years of planning. Quote, for a few years now, we've been putting whiskey away for storage, remarked Becky Harris, chief distiller and president of Catoctin Creek Distilling Company. Quote, we pulled some of the more interesting barrels from the back of the warehouse and decided to release these at a higher proof. A whiskey specially curated for flavor while still being remarkably smooth as is our existing 80 proof Roundstone. Now, I'm excited to try it just because of that rating, 94 points, wine enthusiast, and for the simple fact that they are the most awarded whiskey in Virginia, and there's a lot of whiskey distilleries in Virginia, and it's so many awards that they've won. You will have to go to the website yourself just to check it out because I'm not reading all of that. So we're done with the description, and now we are going to move on to the favorite, your best part of the tasting review, the tasting. Now for your favorite part, the tasting. I already know this tasting is going to be good because I had to start over the tasting segment because when I opened the bottle, I started burping. So y'all know when I start burping, the whiskey is going to be good. So I had my 2 tumblers on the outside and my nose and glass in the middle. Even upon opening it, the smell was great. Like you can definitely smell the lemon. They said in the tasting notes, just a hint of lemon in the nose, and you definitely can smell it. I don't even. To me, it's not even a hint. It's not strong, but it's very prevalent. Like you won't have no, you won't have to guess at all on what you're smelling. So as you can see, it's a beautiful color. Like this is a beautiful color on this whiskey right here. It's just, it's really beautiful. So I got my nose and glass. I'm gonna take a little smell. It smells really good. You got the lemon smell, the citrus smell. I can smell the caramel. I can smell the toffee. It's just it smells like it's been aged longer. It smells very refined. It's a great smell to it. The smell is so good. Like I can already imagine how it's going to taste uh, when I make a old fashioned with it. And I definitely will make an old fashioned with it just based off of this smell. And the body of it is thin, just a little bit oily. Smells great. So let me take a taste. It's very smooth, very smooth. Um, it definitely has a woody taste to it. I definitely can taste that woody taste. Um, I can taste the caramel. I can taste the toffee. It's like this is definitely a whiskey that is great for a nice, relaxing evening, great nightcap. Shoot, sit by the fireplace, smoke a cigar type whiskey. Like this one is, this whiskey is good. This woody taste to it blends well with the caramel sweetness and the toffee sweetness. Uh, the the finish is, I would say, medium long. I know in the tasting notes they say it's a long, kind of a long finish. So I will agree with that. It's definitely a fruity flavored whiskey, as well as the sweetness of the caramel and the toffee. What other notes do they have on here? They said it's full body. It's definitely full body, but it's a smooth full body. Like I've had some whiskeys that were full body that were really strong and kind of overwhelming in the beginning and had, or either they had a very long finish that kind of threw off the initial good taste of it, the beginning taste of it. But this one blends totally well from the beginning to the end. This whiskey is great. So let me finish this this nose and glass off. Yeah, it's definitely from their description. It's definitely a full body, fruity, nutty grain flavor, and it's just so damn smooth. This whiskey is smooth as hell. Like I drinking this, I feel like I should have on a smoking jacket right now with the lights dimmed and the fireplace in the background or something. So let me cleanse my palate and move on to the tumbler with ice on the rocks. All right, let me give it a twirl. Yeah, so with the ice is it seems like with the ice the whiskey is a little much more oilier on the glass. Um, that's interesting. Nothing has changed about the smell. It still smells the same way, which is very surprising. Mm. So with the ice, there's a difference in the taste. With the ice, it seems to be more of a nutty, woody grain flavor as opposed to just having it neat in the nosing glass where it was much more sweeter and you can taste the caramel and the toffee. But it's still good and it's still smooth. It's actually smoother with the ice, with it being colder. Yeah, it's definitely much more smoother with it being cold, but I would prefer it being neat. Like it's all the you all the flavors with it being neat. All the flavors being neat. But it's still good with the ice. I still enjoy it with the ice. It just depends on what type of flavor you're really looking for when you're actually sitting down and having a drink. So let me cleanse my palate once more, and then I'm gonna add a splash of water to the next tumbler. With the splash of water, I can definitely smell the caramel and the toffee much more as opposed to the citrus and the lemon smell. I can still smell the lemon, but the caramel and the toffee is much more stronger now with the water. Smells really good. Okay, with the splash of water, the body of it is much more thinner. It's not as oily as opposed to it being neat in the nosing glass and in the tumbler with the ice. The flavor of it has changed. It's much more of a nutty flavor, not so much the wood flavor, but nutty flavor with the water. You can still taste the caramel and the toffee, but the nutty flavor is much more stronger now. And it's almost like um, it's much more of a citrus nutty flavor. So like it says in the tasting notes, a fruity, nutty grain flavor typical of a Virginia rye whiskey. It's still smooth. Um, it's just as smooth as it is in the tumbler with the ice. Definitely a much more of a nuttier citrus flavor with the water. Overall, still real good, still real smooth. Yeah, like I'm still thinking like, damn, like drinking this right now, I really needed to be in a much more relaxed uh state, a much more relaxed ambiance. I'm sitting here with chains on and all that other stuff. I need to be in a smoking jacket by the fireplace drinking this. So after having that tasting, we're gonna move on to the tasting review and end it off there. Tasting review of Catoctin Creek RoundStone Rye whiskey. Hold on, I got a burp coming. Yeah. So perfect timing that burp came during the tasting review. So Catoctin Creek RoundStone Rye whiskey. It was definitely worth the upgrade. Buying the 92 proof was definitely worth the upgrade because this is an amazing whiskey. Like this whiskey right here, I'm not going to be sharing it with nobody. This is going to be my personal whiskey. Like, this is a great whiskey. I very much enjoyed it. I'm glad I spent the extra money for the 92 proof. The 80 proof is $45, and the 92 proof is $52. So this one is the most expensive whiskey that I've paid for so far on Tasting Reviews Drink Edition, and it was definitely worth it. Although this is much more, well, I won't say much more expensive than the ones that I've had on the show so far. It's still a good price. $52 for a whiskey is still a good price, and particularly for the fact that it's 92 proof and that it was aged much longer than the 80 proof. I enjoyed it neat. Definitely enjoyed it neat. Um, it was great neat. It was very good with the ice, and it was very good with the splash of water. So overall, out of 5 tastings, I give this one a 5. 5 out of 5 tastings, I very much enjoyed this rye whiskey, and I can't wait to actually make a old fashioned with it this weekend. So I'm definitely going to, based off of their website, I'm going to try making the Manhattan as well with it. But this is a great whiskey. You can definitely tell that they put a lot of time and effort in this one. It was aged very well. This is one of the best whiskeys I've ever had. So this one definitely gets a 5 out of 5. Catoctin Creek RoundStone Rye Whiskey. This is Taste Reviews Drink Edition, episode 9. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to all the loyal subscribers, all the viewers. Make sure you like, share, follow, all that good stuff. I appreciate all the support. Make sure you drink responsibly. And this is the end of the show. And make sure you let me know what you think about this one. You know, hit me up in the comments on a Taste to Consider Network on Instagram, as well as the YouTube page. You know, try it out this weekend. If you got somebody special, a dad, granddad that enjoys whiskey, this would be a perfect Christmas gift for them. So I'm out of here. I appreciate you. See you next time on the next episode for the next tasting.